Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Angular Spotify stream from Angular Singapore. So it's been like a month since the last live stream, and I haven't really provided more code for Angular Spotify for like a month now. So hopefully today we have a, a successfully one. Let me share the screen quickly. So the plan for today was, sorry, just let me mute the phone. So the plan for today was like we will continue building the tracklist page, I think. So let me show you how the tracklist look like on the Spotify. So this is the Spotify app, like the desktop app. And if you go into your live song, no, not live song, I think somewhat, it's look a bit different now. The library, playlist. Here, I think this is a playlist. That is a live song. Okay, so when you go inside the live song, it's will look like an album with just a list of song. We can tweak this UI a bit. That's fine. We can either display something like this album because each song is basically having their own image cover and also all of the info. It is one song basically. So I feel like this is fine though. We see how. I think we can go ahead with this UI. Let me open this demo pro. So what do we have here? We have the playlist that is called live song, and then we has the name and also number of song. Obviously there's a play button. There's a search we don't have yet. Maybe I will edit one day. So this listing was look exactly like the playlist. Doesn't look any different. So if I open this, you can see there's a playlist, there's a user, there's a song, there's a name, and the list of song here, the track here just look exactly the same. Yeah, so it's like the playlist detail UI, I would say so. And look into the Spotify, the Angular Spotify. Let me bring it over, and it is how the Spotify does look like. I just clean it first. So for someone who didn't know, we has this volume changing thing, and now when you refresh, it will remember. It is something that I got the pull request from the community. I think from Nikos. It's quite cool though. I mean, at least when you refresh, the volume is still there for you. Anyway, let's look into the current playlist. So you can see it's look very similar. We has the title playlist. We has the big title. We has who is create the playlist and how many song it has. There's a play button, and all of that will look exactly the same. And I already prepared the live song. Let's see how we can, maybe we can reuse the playlist. But yeah, we definitely we can. Let's see. How to because each playlist it will has the no it's the album. So each playlist it will has the playlist detail on top, and the track here is basically just a list, like an array of something. So we can definitely reuse it. Let me open the playlist track quickly. So there's a playlist track component. I haven't really do a coding for some time. Let me zoom in a bit. Okay. So that is a playlist track component, and then if I open the UI, you can see there's the row. Oh, so it is a single track. It is a playlist track. We can reuse it, but let's see. I think we has the long track maybe inside the playlist detail. So in the playlist detail, I will just take the track out, and then I will do a for loop into the playlist track. So this AS playlist track, maybe we can call it AS media track or something, so that we can share between the like song and the playlist detail. And the rest will look very similar. So we have the play button, the media summary here. Let's see how we can get all of the info. But the name here, we can just hard coded it as like song, you know. So it will look, it's just reuse the same component. So here, they call it like song. There's no image, or actually there's an image of the heart, the playlist, my name, and how many songs. So I think this one we can hard code it. With this one we can hard code it. This one maybe we can also hard code it. My name is 5, but the number of song we need to see how we can get it. So we can just copy this over, and then we just put, you know, there's a type of playlist here, of course, and then the title, you know, like song, something like that, and it's gonna work. Yeah. So basically that's what we are going to do today. And let actually, before we get started on that, let's finish what we have done last time with Bman. So we has the artist detail, but it is production. So we had some code that I were written with Bman, and then I haven't really like publishing it on Netlify, so you don't see it here. But if I open localhost, and you probably can see it. That's localhost, and then that is the so that is the UI. So the elastic code is running on localhost, and then if I open this artist, so there you can see we have also the list of track, like the top track from an artist. So maybe let's finish this first, and then we will start with the slide song. So as you can see here, we have the data. So we have the list of track already for the guy. And then now what we need to do, we just need to bring this component over. So actually it's gonna be similar to the album. Yep. So there's a track number, there's a title, and then there's the duration of the song. So let's do something similar. So I click here, I has the data now, and then what I need to do is to render it look nicely. So the way usually when I look into it, so like I open album, so it is gonna be inside the album detail. So I need to open the album detail component, and then I will look for this component to render the list. So let me see where it is. So there's the album.component. As you can see, this is the album component, and I has most of the stuff here. So I has the media summary. Oh, okay, which is this one, which is this box here, and then I has the play button. And what I need to take over, bring it over to the artist with this component, this list of the album, and it is here. So we have the table header, which is the track grid thing, and then we also need this album track. And what I need to send in, we just need to send in the track into the component, and inside all of the plays and stuff is will be handled here inside the AS play album track. So I have the track here. I also need to pass in the context UI to basically just to toggle, you know, how like play the track, play the current song. And when the component is initialized, I will need to check whether the current track is playing or not. So to basically to show this icon, the GIF one, and also to highlight the green one for the title. So if you look into the UI, I think in the info, I also take in the playing, and then if it's playing, I will just highlight the thing. I guess so. I guess. So if it's playing somewhere, let's see. So if it is playing, I'll just set the text to primary. Yeah. So let me pause this first. Where is it? Yeah. Actually, let's just mute it completely so I will not be get distracted. So now we know what we want to do. So we wanted to take the same component of this album track, and then we just do a for loop, and then we just send in the track, and with that we are able to just play the song. Yeah, the context UI here maybe is not very relevant because for the album we play no what we send in is the context UI of the album. Let's say I am opening this Bright Future album, and then I wanted to play this track. So I will not send in the ID of this track when I wanted to play it. I will say I wanted to play this album and this song at the position of 4, as you can see. So when I click it, I'll send to server a request. So I click it. You see there's a play thing, and then I will send the contact URI of the album itself. Let me zoom in a bit. You can see here, right? So I send the Spotify album with the ID, and then I send the offset. So the position 3, which means that because the array starts from 0, so I will play the track number 4 here. So like 3 plus 1 is 4. Yeah, so that is the idea. But I'm not sure how it's gonna look with the ATIS, because for the ATIS maybe we just need to send the contact URI of the track itself. But I'm not sure. Let's see. So let's go back to the ATIS. Let's go back to Peter. So now we have the lead of track here, and yeah, you can see we have the top track, and I just send the market like Singapore. So this is the 10 song which is like most frequent that was listened for people in Singapore. But this is like the country that you was selecting when you create an account with Spotify. So it's not based on your current location. So if I create an account in Vietnam and then I move to Singapore, I will still see like the top 10 track that people in Vietnam were listening, not in Singapore. So I think, yeah, it is expected. Otherwise, it is going to be a privacy problem because they will ask for your location basically. But okay, so here we have the track info, and inside the track, I think the track doesn't has anything called context UI. Here it has the UI. So when I play the track, it will basically just play the track. If I click into playing, it will play the playing song. I will click into this always, it will play the always song. And when the song is over, then that's it. Because we don't play it inside the context. So if we play it inside an album, after this song is finished, it will play the next track in the album. But I think here what we wanted to do is like we wanted to play this track, and then next we wanted to play the next track in the top track of the 80s. But I think like based on that, based on the current structure of the API, I don't think that we has like any clues. I think because they don't export this list and like a playlist, so they don't have like a playlist ID for this. So I think the best we can do, we just go ahead and play this UI, and yeah, should be okay. Yeah, okay, sure. So let me do it. So what we need to do is like we need to have the similar component, and here we also need to have the similar. So because the toggle play here were different, let me think. We can maybe reuse it because the UI was exactly the same. So we can call it how say because it is like not the full information. So maybe we call it track without album. Maybe. And then in the playlist, so it is a full track. So it is a playlist track, and it is the playlist track which has the album, and then that added in the album. We only has title, duration, and number. So we don't have another 2 column. So yeah, I just not a good naming people. So maybe I just copy the code over, and then we don't do the reusable for now. We just copy it over and then doing the same thing. So let me do it. So how to do it? Sorry, it's been a long time. I haven't write a code. So we need to open it inside the ATIS. Where's the ATIS? There's ATIS, and then there's a feature, and then inside the feature there's an ATIS component. So in the ATIS component, we display the media summary, which is this summary. And now we need to display so this is the top track, and inside the top track now we need to display this one in the nicer UI. Okay, so we will F12, you will go into the UI. So that's the ATIS top track. That is a component. And last time, Bman was just putting it inside the same template file. So he didn't extract it out into a new HTML file. That's fine though. I mean, there's some people, they prefer to put everything inside the same file. So if you see like the file is too long, it could be like a 50 line code. They said it's going to be too long. So they wanted to break it even smaller. That is the idea when they wanted to separate it out. But sometimes, I mean, the long component is like inevitable. You cannot escape from it. Yeah, so maybe let's create another UI. So I call it, I will need to create a new Angular library, maybe. So now I will call it ATIS. Oh, it's too long. I just move it down. ATIS track. Yeah. Maybe decent. So there's a ATIS top track, and then maybe ATIS top and then track without the S. So we know that when we call it S, which means it should be a list of something. When you don't have the S, the plural form of the nouns, it's going to be just a single. So yeah, I just do it as track, and then I use SCLS, of course, and then I'll just no lazy, nothing. So prefix is just Spotify. I think I specify it somewhere, but yeah, just do it AS for short, and just depend. I usually will still keep the simple module name, but last time Bman didn't. He said he feel like he wanted to have an explicit name instead, but yeah, I think it's just a preference. But when the project is getting bigger and bigger, when you have a very concrete name, it's easier to look for when you do like Command P on Mac. So you don't look for the file name by this search, right? You do navigating through that, and then you will look for ATIS top. It will just appear on top. So if the name is unique, it is for you to look for. Instead of you just call it like I don't know, I'll say all of the index.ts file and stuff is gonna be difficult to look for because there's too many of them. But actually you can look for like top track. Yeah. So the type here is UI, and then we need to put a scope of web, because the scope here maybe in the future you have a mobile app. So that is how we separated it out. And yeah, we just keep Jest for now, because in the future maybe we want to write some unit test for it. No good, just run it. Oh, okay. I think I put it wrongly. The thing is, we need to specify where we wanted to put it. So I cannot put it inside the IT top track because it's gonna be too deep. So where is it now? Where is the new created library? Okay, so it's like lift and web, and then IT. Oh, it's not good. So we need to undo it. We can do a move, but easier. We can undo it. It's okay because we are opening. So always inside the lib. So I wanted to put it inside web, ITs, and then UI. Okay, so I just. So now you see CD. So lib, web, ITs, UI, IT top track. Okay, exactly what I want. Yeah, so you can always look into this dry run before you click a button to actually perform the thing, the code. It will reduce a lot of headaches. So now this one is over. I just delete it. Okay. This is the whole file. Okay. So now inside the artist, we has additional artist top track, which is the without the S, like I mentioned. And inside lib here is always there's just only one module. And then because we wanted to create a new component, we can just create a new component. We can do it. We don't really need annex for that because it's very simple. It is the here component. Confirm. How does it look now? See, okay. Oh, okay. So if we create a new folder, that's not like what I want. I wanted to just bring it out inside the same because we are doing like a single module per component. So it's easy to look for when you have everything line by line, a line, in the same structure. So that is the IT top track, and that is the unit test. That is the HTML, and then that is CSS. Oh, we wanted to use SCSS though. Anyway, so here I can just change it to SCSS first, and then in the module I will just need to. Oh, it's already here, but it's not cannot find module. I think because we bring it out. Okay. That's fine though. So now we need to do an export as well. Okay. So we export it out as well. I'll save it. And then inside the component, now we just need to copy the code over. So let's open the album track. Yeah, we can have a separated section in the future to basically just refactor that into to use the same component, and then we export just event outside, so we can just reuse it like in two places without copying the code. But for now, that is how you will see, because when we reuse the code, and then suddenly in the ITs we wanted to display additional column, you will have other choice. Either you pass in the inputs telling it is the track for the ITs, and then you render a component using ngIf, or you can put in like the content projection, so that it will understand the template and then it will render it. Yeah, but basically when you putting too many stuff inside one component, it will probably doing too much, and it will make the like some in the use case where we wanted to change the UI, it's going to be a bit tricky because we are sharing the component. So if there's two components separately, you can just do whatever you want, but of course the code is going to be double. But when you are sharing the same code in two places, when you wanted to display something is very specific for different type, it is also going to be a problem. But this really depends, because this component is kind of small, so I feel like I can use it this way, so I just copy the thing over. But we can have a section to talk about refactoring this into a single component, and then we can see what is the challenge when we just reusing it in multiple places. So I just copy the thing over. Of course, you're gonna giving some complaining, because all of that we need to import into the component, so into the module basically. So I will just copy all of that, and I will bring back the, okay, so let me bring it smaller. Okay, and then I will open the IT top track component. I think this file, no, module. Okay, here I will just copy the thing inside, and of course we need to import it, but I know VS Code is not gonna like me a lot for some reason. I might need to switch to WebStorm very soon. So all of that we also need to copy, because basically I wanted VS Code to help me on that, but it just doesn't work. Or maybe we also need this reactive component module, but okay, maybe I'll show you later. So we go back to IT top track, and then I'll just copy it on top. Then the album track component here, I don't need. Why there's still an error here? That is weird. I don't have it. Okay. You see, which is very confusing because I don't have this module. So what I want is like on this for line is gonna, having this squish line below, but why it's throwing like the okay value at position 4. Wow. Yeah, it's just not good. Now I think we has the, so we import, go back to what we have. Okay, so we can just close it. We has a test top track module, and then we have a test top track component. So now all of the component here is like understand it correctly, but we need this info. So what we wanted to send in is like a track basically. So in the this top track component, we will probably need this input, and then we need to pass in the track and the type of the track. We need to see whether it is going to be very similar to this album track. So I can do F12. So the track here is like, it is basically just Spotify track object simplify. That is 80 is the this number. I'm not sure if it's going to be simplified. I think it's going to be the full track though, because here we see the list of 80s, but maybe it's a full track. Okay, we look into it, and then we also need the context UI to basically to be able to toggle the track to be played. So I will just, yeah, I also have the command like, instead of doing this subscribe manually, I will just introduce a component store, and then I will just dispatch, like not dispatch, I just create an effect, and then I will invoke this effect, and then it will automatically subscribe for me. But yeah, we can think about it in future. So I will go ahead and just copy all of the code over. Like I mentioned, it might not be a good technique, but for now, what we wanted to do is to have a good UI on the artist, which look very similar to the album. And we will just copy the code over, and then you can see that is, we have duplicated code, and then we can have a separate section to refactor it into a single component. I think that could be the good one. So I will copy the thing from album track into the edit top track component, and yeah, here I will just copy it. So of course we need to do some import stuff like this Spotify API thing. Maybe it's not supported yet because we don't really need to import it. But I think I need to uncomment a file in the tsconfig lib, which is this type array, and then I uncommented it, and then inside here I will restart the TS server. So now the Spotify API will be recognizable. Yes, now it's look fine. And then we need to import observable, because observable is going to work. Okay, and then playback store, no. Play API service, no. Select the YouTube. Okay, there's some it is giving the suggestion, some is not. So we need this off. Is it in? Is it? Why is still error? Oh, there's only 5 playback state. Okay, so maybe this is because this thing is unknown, so we need to import this to first. Okay, I forgot where it is. It's been a long time. Playback store. Playbacks, Angulars, playback. Oh, I forgot. Where is it? Is it in the share data access? Sorry, I've been a long time I don't work on it. It's the store. Yeah, is it on the store? And then we need the playback API service. So okay, import from Angular Spotify. That's why you see that sometimes takes some time. Is it? I call it? Yeah, data access Spotify API. Okay, good. So now you see all of the error go away. We inject the playback store and player API. So the playback store is basically storing the information of the current playback, which means what is the current playing song, what is the current volume, are you toggle the repeat, are you toggling the shuffle, all of that. I can show you data later on. But basically, that is the info inside the playback store. The player API is like just to make a call to the server, and then to, you know, toggle the play. The toggle play is basically just call the either put to play or pause. Like you see, you just send the request to play and pause, and it's basically just a put method, and that's it. So I just extract it out into the toggle play. So when I click the button, if it is playing, I will just pause it. If it's not, then I just place it shorter, you know. And I know that code is going to be reused over and over. So let me go back to the component. Now we have the component here, and maybe we don't need the offset because, like I mentioned, we will just send in the track UI, and that's it. So we don't really have to do it, and actually we don't really need to input the contact UI because we had the track here, and the track has the UI. So here we can get the track dot UI. Okay, maybe it's no, so we just do a save track, and then when it's coming down here, know that we need to play the track dot UI, because here we check if there's no UI, we just return. So when it's come to this line, we don't need to check for new anymore, because now you know exactly if the track is undefined here, it will return immediately. So when it's come here, the track, it have to be at least has the data. It could, is usually I was expecting an object, but at least it can have something for you. So you don't really have to check for the falsy value anymore. So you don't need to have, you don't have to check for the question mark here. So I just comment it out and then just remove. Okay, just keep it so that I in the future I know what to refactoring. So now we have everything. We have the top track now. So what we need to do, we just go back to the top tracks with the S, you know, and then we will just reference to this component. So okay, it's kind of getting shape. So we go back to this top track. So there's two things here. One is track and one is tracks. Sorry, I'm not a native English speaker, so that is expected. So here, instead of rendering this one, I'll just remove it. Okay, I will import the component that I need, which is the 80 top track. Okay, so I need to import the 80 top track module. It's the singular, and it doesn't give me the suggestion. Let me see. Oh, it doesn't give me a suggestion, so I need to import manually. So it's gonna be in English, Spotify web artist top track. Okay, good. So I have the module inside. And then because inside the module, I export the top track component. So now in the component, I can use it. I'm not sure if I can use it here. Okay, here, give the suggestion. And then I just, all I need is just give in the track, right? That is the track, and then I need to give in the track here. Yes, that's it. Actually, we don't really need the ng container here, no? Okay, we need it. Oh, here. Don't really need other. We just do a for loop directly in the top track itself, and then we just send in the thing. Okay, so now it's giving an error, so maybe I need to really restart it. But as you can see here, it should be clean. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but still not work as expected. Close, then I close it. But it is still playing the song. Oh, that's weird. Okay, just a sec. So now we are waiting for the thing is like running. I will just go back and revisit it for you guys. So we start from the top to bottom, okay? So let's go back to artist. Okay, artist.component.ts. So that is the artist component, which is the artist detail because it is a feature component. So the feature component is basically it's going to be a routable component. I think that is the easiest definition for the feature component, feature library and feature component. So it is going to be routable because when we open the UI, we will do something like artist, and then we give in the ID, like something. So, and then for that, we will link this into artist ID, and then we link this route to this component. So that's why this artist component is the feature component. And then in the artist component, what we do, we just text the artist info that you can see here. That's the artist info, and then we will put it in the component like media summary. So it will. So you go into this thing. You can take the component and then, oh, doesn't work. It will show this thing for you, okay? And then what we are doing is like we will show this top track, and this is the top track go into the top track component. So you can see in the top track component, we will just take in the VM from the component store. And if you are curious, we can go into the VM. So inside the VM, we will just select the first one is the data. You can give it the name, but like last time Bman mentioned, it's just the data basically. So he will just call every main like response for this component a data. We have status, which is like either it's loading, it is fail, it says error, it is pending. We have this error, and we are not really doing anything with it. But yeah, in the real like production app, we should do something with it. So the VM is basically just giving the data from the store. So it's going to be an observable of an object with data error status. So you don't need to export the three things over. You just need to export one thing, which is VM. And then he set the debounce to true, which means, actually, I'm not sure what does it do. But basically, if the store changing so many times, like in a short time, it will just emit one event. So debounce like when you have one event, another one, and then if the second one coming is within like short time frame, the first one is just get canceled, and then now the value is the second one. So let's say you pushing to the client 1,000 times, and then within in 1,000 times, it's gonna be like every 5 milliseconds, which is really fast. So you don't really want to update the UI every 5 milliseconds. Instead, you might want to update the UI at the end when the thing is over. Yeah, basically that's a debounce mean. I guess what it does, but yeah, we can always look into the component. But so we have the data, we have error, we have status. Go back. So we have the VM. So we just take the VM from data, and as you can see, the track here is like track object full. So we have the full object. So we can, instead of giving the track object simplify in this component, it is top track. We can instead we change it to track full because it is what were given from the API. So now we are having everything. We need to look into the UI, but just now it doesn't look like it is displaying very nicely. Let's see why. I also don't know. Because the ngix less is not defined, right? Is it? Going to on artist. See, it's can by to ngix less, and then we are using it somewhere, maybe in the top track, I think. Oh, that's weird. It should giving an error. Wow. X less. See. So we are using ngix less, but we don't import the module for this for this syntax to be using. So I will need just to open the module here, and then I need to import the reactive component module from NGI component. So this reactive component module will export the NGI less. Go back here. I will. Where is it? Where is it? Wait, I was lost here. Is it here? Okay. So in the NGI class, we will just dispose the, not just export, it's like we unwrap the value from the observable into a property. So if track playing is going to be an observable boolean, and then you want to take it out. So the e playing here is going to be a boolean. We can use ng if though, but with ng if, the whole component here is not going to be rendered until this e playing is true, because ng if is like true or false, like checking for truthy. So if the value of this e playing track is always 4, which means the whole thing here is not going to be rendered, and that's not what we want, because it is going to be only be true when the thing is loading. Sorry. So when it is 4, when the API call is finished, which means the whole thing here is not going to be rendered. That's why we need to use NGI less instead. So we just take out the value. So it is a true or false, doesn't really matter. But we can use it inside the below component. So let's see if it's gonna work. I click it. So now we have 4 like top track of this 80s. But because we don't have the header, so it's look a bit off, but okay, I think it's good for now. So let's play the track to see if working. Click. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay, it's somehow it doesn't work. Oh, it's 400. Oh, that is weird. Let's see. Why is 400 though? We send in the 80s. Oh, that's weird. Oh, it's not supported context UI. So maybe we cannot play the track by its own UI. We need to send in still the album UI, and then we need to specify which song, like in which places. You see, so on the left side, it is like 11211 whatever. So it is like the current position of this song inside the album. So it is not like 1 2 3 4 5 10 like the Spotify. You can see. Yeah. 1 2 3 4 5 that you can see here. Oh yeah, okay. So we just need to put the popular, and we have the number, and the 80s here doesn't really important. So maybe we just don't render it, and the number of song here, like we mentioned, we don't have it. Okay. So I think we separated it out. It's good because here we have the lights icon. So in the album, actually in the album we have it. Let's go back into the album of the song, maybe of song. Let's see. No, not this. Not this. Sorry. Oh yeah. Oh, inside the album they also can light it, but we don't. Yeah, that's fine. But we don't have this functionality yet. Oh, okay. I'll comment. Thanks, Nam. I hope you enjoyed that. We win yesterday over the football match. So thanks for joining. And yeah. So okay, we can just keep it. So now, let's go back to the stuff. So we cannot play the thing with the contact URI of the track. So we need to send in the Spotify album, and then we need to send in the offset, exactly like what we did with the album detail. So it should be quick though. Let's open this top track component, top track here. So we don't send the track immediately, we just need to send the album, then URI maybe. Okay, and then we need to do an offset. The offset here, what is it? It is number, no? Oh, offset is going to be a position of something. Okay, so position. And then here we just need to take the track dot, what's it? Let's see what we can use. Okay, what is the one we render on the UI though? Media order. Media order. Track number. Okay, we take this track number. So we can render this track number. Okay, yeah, track number. Okay, should work now. But we also wanted to render the the free, like the order number, like 1 2 3 4 5 from top to bottom. Then I go back into. So if I click play, no, still not. All right, let me refresh it. I click Peter. I click fly. Oh, it is changing. Nice. But it doesn't toggle the UI here. Oh, that is interesting. You can see, right? So I click. It is playing, but it just doesn't highlight this line. Oh, that is interesting. So it is playing the song. Oh, wait. It played the wrong song. So I click flying. It's playing within. Okay. I need to plus one. Maybe after we plus one, then it's gonna be. After we plus one, then it will work. Click. Huh. Oh, where? So click event me. It's played raindrop. Oh yeah. Ocean wave. Oh, here. Interesting. Let's see. Go back to how it's look. Police. What's going wrong here? I didn't get it then. I haven't really get it. So okay, let's see. So I click the thing, and then it say 403. Oh, maybe it's not yet. Okay, we do it again. So let's go back into the police. Oh, now it's work. So there's a everybody take, then Soloni. No, Soloni doesn't work. So when I click So Lonely, it's play How in My Life. That's weird. When I click this, and then you can play the next song, which is Hungry for You. And then when I play Message in a Bottle, it will play It's Alright for You. Interesting. So I play Message in the Bottle, and then it play It's Alright for You. Maybe we don't really have to do plus one. We just keep the same thing, but even the same thing, it doesn't work. Okay, try again. Track number. Interesting. So if I playing, what is it? This is album. If I playing Everybody You Take, even playing the next song, The King of Pain. I actually don't know. Okay, let's open this this album. So I click King of Pain. What's King of Pain? So that is Every Breath You Take. When I click, it will play. Oh, maybe I need to do -1 though. Okay. So because in the album, it will start from 0, but the track number might be start from 1. Oh, okay. That's, yeah, maybe. So I do -1. But we need to check if it is still like 0. So we need to do either -1 or 0. We don't want to do like a -1. Okay. But if the track number start from 1, so it should not happen at all. So let's open this, go back here. I will go back into the police. Okay, I will. Oh, nice. Okay, so we need to do -1 then. If I'm playing this, then it will play the right song. Okay, so you can see. So all of the e-playing and stuff is already supported inside the component. So we just need to take it out, use it, and then all of this UI is gonna toggle basically. But we don't want to display the artist. So what we can do is like go back to the, I think it's like main track info. Is that main track info? I think I don't want to. Cannot. No chance. Okay. Yeah. Very slow. So we don't want to display the artist name. But we don't have a flag to say that we don't want to display this artist. Okay then. Maybe I need to track info. Okay. Okay, just do an input. Is show. Boolean. Okay, that's true. Actually, when it's Boolean, we don't need like equal to true, they will understand. So is show artist. Okay, and then inside I will do an if. Let's see how does it look then. Okay. Yeah, mg if only display when it is true, and by default it's true. So if we go back to the top track component and go back to this HTML, we will display thing. Okay, say is okay. Why now it doesn't work anymore? That is so weird. I give up. Okay, so 4. Okay, sometimes I'm wrong. Then restart Angular language server. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Maybe VS Code is this way. Should be fine now. And then we go back to the UI and go back to the police. Okay, you see there's no artist detail anymore. Clean up pen. Okay, look good though. Yeah, we can deploy it later. I've been oh wow, what is it? Volume percent, it's 404. What is weird? Okay, I will look into it later on. Change. Do we like send to server? Yeah, of course. Oh, that's weird. Why is it will still change in on the server, but somehow the guy said this doesn't work here. Weird. And I think when I change it inside the Spotify app, it's been like across the here as well. So if I change it, zoom, yeah, so it's gonna be automatically update here. So it's like across the thing. Okay, finally we have it working. So let's go back, drop off. So we need to put the title popular, and actually there's a play button. So when I click play, actually you can just play this, but okay, we will skip for now. I'll just add in the title. The police look very nice. This car, but I think we don't really have time to put it in, so just keep it for now. And in the next one we can add in all of the album from an artist, so it's gonna be easier to look for it. But yeah, like I mentioned, let keep it simple. Actually, what we can do is like because we are displaying the song here, and we already has the album detail, right? Like we click into, it will display. So maybe we can consider adding a new column, because maybe, I mean, on the Spotify there's no column for album, but we can add it in. So based on that, we can navigate into the album itself. Yeah, let's do it then. Easy. So, oh, wait, maybe it's not that easy. We need to change the grid, but we can do it. Okay. So just like, let me drink a water. Sorry, my voice thing is going down so low now. It is like after I speak for like half an hour, my voice just goes so low. It's like that's how I speak English. Sorry. When I speak Vietnamese, it's still normal, but yeah, it's just when I speak English, it's getting worse over time. Like in the first 5 minutes was sound normal, but yeah, gradually it just go so bad. So what we're going to do is like we wanted to display a new column here, and we say we wanted to display an album. Okay, let's open the playlist track. Of course, we always need to look at the previous code that we wrote. See, there's a album raw URL. Let's see, what is this URL? Where does it come from? So when we set the track, we will also set this album URL, which is fine up, and we keep this thing here. Okay. Okay, we can do the same thing. So the reason why we set it, because we don't want to call this function in the template itself. So you can always have a function like add album URL, okay, and then you take in this one, album ID. Okay, so you do this, and then inside the template, instead of doing this album router, you just call it with the whatever, with the ID. But doing the template, function code in the template is not good all the time, because the chain detector is what checking by all of the events. So if you do some mouse over, you click here and there, this function might get invoked, right, without any changes on this ID. So it could happen many times, and it's just a waste of memory. We don't want it to happen. So we only set the album raw when we have the track, and when the track is changing. That's why you see there's a set here. So the set here is short when we just wanted to do some simple stuff. We don't really need to do like ng on chain. So I prefer to use it as setting. Yeah, but without further saying, let's do it. So we call it. Okay, just copy it over. That is a good thing about having a code. So I will close it. I will still, for some reason, it's still giving an error, but you can see the UI is working fine. So there should be a problem. We copy it here, and then we change the item. We need this item here. For track, and then we just change it. Okay, good. So then we set the track, and then the one outside we also just the track, and then it's just underscore track. Okay, the value is probably track object. It's not, it need to be track object full. And then if this track value, and then we just set album raw URL, okay, which is another property. So I be mentioned, just if you don't have any order, just put it like alphabetical. Do string some reason there's a connection unstable on the UI. I'm not sure if you guys still can see the screen, but oh, it's okay. Just look back now. Just look fine. String. Okay. What's wrong? Can I just do it? Why is still here? Sorry. Oh, I got the right code. So I will just set it. Import this out here. Then this value the track ID. Okay, nice. And okay, what can we do? Okay, look good now. So actually, one of that is quite messy. Let's bring it here. Private track. Okay, maybe here. Okay. And then we have the album route now. What we need to do is like go back to the playlist album. Track, sorry, component. And I just copy it. Easy. Of course, it might not work as expected though, but let's go here below. After that, I wanted to have this. So we want to track.album name. Look exactly fine. I don't know why it's giving error, but okay. Yeah, so the track number here is undefined. Okay, whatever. Oh, okay. We don't give it this undefined thing. It's exactly, it have to have some data. Okay. And track here. Okay, fine. Come on. Oh, can but router link. Oh, router link is not here. So we need to import the router module. Is it working now? Okay. But still, see, there's still error on the VS Code. I think we need to change the grid as well. But let's see how does it look. Doesn't display anything. So it does a album. Okay, so going to like this. Can so now is display the album link. Okay, we can click into it. Okay, display the right album. But of course the direction get pushed down because we are reusing the grid from this one, album track grid. So what we need to do is we just need to change it to support 4 column. I think now it's only support 3 column. You see, 24, 6 header, and then min mark. So we need to do another one. So we do whatever artist top track list, okay. And here we do 24, which is the order. And we need to additional another 3 other. And then go back to the component. We just need to change the class here. Is it working? Okay. Why doesn't there's no refresh? F12. Yeah, usually you should always open F12 when you developing. Okay, now let's open something new. Emma. Click Emma. Okay, nice. So now we have this this one. There's a new column to display the album. Yep. Nice. So now what the last one? The last one we need to do is like to change it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then with that, I think we can just finish this component and we'll move on. So here, media order. Oh, tricky. It's not that simple, you know. Inside the media order, we also index. Oh, it's that easy though. But we need to pass it from outside. We don't have this info. So we need this order. So we just check order in. Then I will display it with not the track number, but with the order. Then the order here is just the index. So in the top track, um, no, not that. What is it? Inside. Okay. So we're looking for the HTML file. So we just take this. So we just take the index of the array and then we send in the component to this tracking. That is the song I like. So let's refresh, click. Yes, so now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. So always we display the 10 mode place track, and it basically just the index from array. I hope they sort it out for us. And let's see what else we can display here. Just before we left to the next one. So go back here, go to the network. Of course, there's a track somewhere. Track? No? What? That's weird. Click. No track here. Okay. Let's see what we can use. What else we can use? So there's a duration. There's the popularity, which is just the score. I also don't know how they calculate it. External ID. There's an artist. There's an album. Total track. Whatever. Okay. All of that we don't really care. Yeah, I think that's all we can do for now. There's nothing much. Just yeah, we has this duration and stuff, and that's it. Okay, so the last one we just need to put the popular title here. So go back to the, I think it should be inside the artist component, or maybe in the top track. Yeah, maybe in the top track as well. Yeah, in the top track. That's fine. Depends. This is how you want to do it. Just do and head to. Then, wow, I was pressing the keyboard wrongly, so killer. That's it. It work. Maybe we need to set the title. Okay, let's see. So there's a margin top, bottom, and then there's a text heading which set some font size and color. Okay, we can use this text heading class. Okay. Oh, so small. Wow. Oh, maybe Tailwind they reset it back to like this very small, so that you can do whatever you want. Yeah, so popular, but we need some space. I wanted to have a separation. There's some kind of separation already, so maybe yeah, 94 is good. 1 frame and below as well. Below maybe a bit more, 6. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, the tag look a bit small. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, should be okay. Let's see how. I think here they do it a bit lesser, like 35, and then to the top was what 35 as well. 30. Yes, of course, definitely more than 35. 58. Kind of 46. Maybe reduce the both way. So here is like 52 and then it was 4. 4, yeah. I think that's the last tuning that we need to do. Yeah, look fine. I like it. I will create a new, like, create a new here. It's just like I usually don't. Okay. Chung is like 8 bits detail. I did top track. Eh? Oh, CB. It's like check out and branch. Then I'll just commit it. Analyzing the 8 top track component. Then I will actually wanted to see how it look with the link. You can add all of them. And I'll just do it. Git commit meta. We are running ESLint cache for TS and HTML. So if there's some code smell and stuff, it could help us to detect the problem early. Oh, okay. What's wrong? On track signature should be adjacent over load signature. What the hell is that? I don't get it. On track signature should be adjacent. Oh. Set and get the same property invoke is linked. Oh, next to it. Sure. Okay. Get it. Yeah, because we introduced the order in the middle. Yeah, get it. That's what I thought as well. Okay, make it kind of difficult though. Okay, here, that's fine. Do it again. So in the meantime, I think we have a question here. So Leo was asking a question like why whenever we set the code, the refresh to the homepage instead of the URL that we were before. That is a good question. I think I explained it before. There's a reason behind. Okay. So how to say? Let's go back to the repo. Here. Source code. So if you look into below, I think there's a authentication flow. Okay. So basically the flow is gonna look like I will connect to the, so when I has the access token, I will start to connect to the SDK, and then basically that is the whole process. But the interesting is like the one before that. So when I open Angular Spotify, I will redirect you immediately to get the data. And when the Spotify was like having, the user was agree to allow Angular Spotify to read your data, it will redirect back to the UI with some kind of some kind of token and stuff. How to say? Actually, I wanted to show you that. I think that's, of course, there's a redirect somewhere. Window dot location dot ref. Okay, so we need to assign this, and then we redirect, and then we read. Okay, here, navigate back. Very nice. So I show you. So when so always every time you see it, I will always redirect you to Spotify, and then it will redirect me back to the Angular Spotify with the access token. So at the moment, that's the important part. At the moment, this access token, I don't store it anywhere. It is like inside, only it inside the store. So if you open the Redux store, you will see it inside the store. But I don't store it. I don't persist it inside a cookie, or I don't store it inside local storage. Anything like that. Not here. Oh, okay. Maybe the auth is not the global store. I think it is the component store. So basically, I will store all of that inside the store, and then I will, every time you click, I will take the token, and then I will send it along with the request. So that part is easy, like that. So you see there's a header, and then you will see there's a token. But the thing is, this token I will not storing in the local storage, and then when I save the code, actually it's similar to when you refresh the browser. When you click refresh, okay, I will check like if I has the token. So if I don't have the token, I will just redirect you immediately to Spotify. And then because Spotify only accepts some like very generic URL to redirect back to the application. So when I tell Spotify I want to redirect to this specific URL, it is fine, but I don't know how to configure it. So I will configure only like localhost 42,000, and then spotify.chungkai18.com, and it will be able to only redirect to this tool. And then when I refresh, the process is like I will ask if there's token. There's no token, then I will go to Spotify. When Spotify redirect back, it can only redirect to this URL. That's why you see it always redirect back to the homepage. So I think how to say, there's the improvement that we can make is like, instead of asking for the token all the time, we can store it inside the local storage, and then when you refresh, I will just try to get the token from local storage first, and then I will try to use this token to make some HTTP requests, and then I will not do the redirect immediately. But for now, that's how it looks. So I will just, there's no hash, I will just redirect. But in the use case where is also there's no token, I will also redirect you. So that's how it looks. In this auth, okay. Here, sweet map 2 redirect to auto, right? It's calling twice. So if there's no hash, I will redirect to authorize. I will try to get all of that. And if there's E, I will say it is authenticated, and then I will try to get my profile. But yeah, basically you need to store it somewhere so that next time you can have the access token, and then you don't have to ask for it again. But for now, I don't do it because the access token is very short life. It is like an hour, so I don't think I see the benefit of store the 1 hour token. But yeah, this could be a good improvement. Thanks for asking. I hope that answers your question. If you're still not very clear, we can have a chat in Vietnamese. Then just book the meeting with me. Then I can explain it to you. Yep. So for now, we already committed the code, and yeah, maybe actually it take longer than I guess. So maybe this one we can do it next time. because yeah, always building stuff take too many, like too long. So this one, next time we will build this tracklist, and this tracklist will look very similar to a playlist. And before we end, let's see how it look on the API then. Spotify API. So we can see like top track. No, it is like user. I think it's like more like browser. It's save user save album. Check save. I think that's one. Get user save track. We can use this component, and I don't know the endpoint here to get all of the track that the user was like favoring, like liking. And then we will just render it into the UI. It should be quick though. It is gonna be very similar to what we do here in the album. So we basically just need to open the playlist track. We need to use it. So maybe we can reuse it, and then that is tricky. So we need to know. I think that's not that easy, because here when you play it, when you click next, you go to the next song, but the limitation is like in this list of item, I just don't have the context, so I don't know what song will be next. If I continue to play by the album, it's not gonna work, because like of course it's not gonna work, because okay, here I refresh it, we go back to the album. Let's bring this so when I play, what I'm doing is that I play this song just play it. I'm playing this song in the album. So when I click next, it is gonna play the next song in the album. It's not gonna play this song. I think you can see it that. So when I click next, it will just next to the next song in the album. So yeah, so it's not gonna like, give you the next one in this list. So when I click next, you're gonna play the next song in the album. Oh wow, next. So it's not gonna click like playing the next song in the top track. So the same problem that happened when we build this save track, because I don't have the context URI for the whole list, for this whole list of track, whole list of item. So yeah, I think it's tricky, but I mean, whatever. Next week we will build the this component. We will build this live song component. So that part is easy. That part here is easy, I think. The part is we just do some hard-coded thing, but here it's gonna be tricky. When you click play, it's gonna play this song. First, we click next, it's gonna be play the next song. But for me, I just don't know. I don't have the context. This one is not a playlist, so I think that's tricky then. Tricky. But yeah, whatever. If we cannot do it, then we figure it out. What is that? Request IDs. What's that? Spotify ID? Spotify UI. Spotify ID. Okay. Anyway, I think we do it next week. Thanks so much for joining today. Thanks, Leo. Thanks. Hopefully, yeah, it's clear your concern. But like I mentioned, if you always has any question, here I show you again. Angular HG. You can always go into Angular HG, and the first link here, you can always open it. This will open the calendar. So basically, next week I have some free day. So if you feel like you wanted to have some problem, have some question, feel free to go here, get a meeting, and then yeah, we will talk. I'm open. And before I left, I think I had a question here in the last live stream. In this, I open it. So, oh, there's a new one. Cyborg. So Cyborg was asking like, what was the exactly different between a feature component and an UI component? And yeah, for me, it's like when you do a feature component, you will need to route it. It will link to a piece of route like this one. When I open the artist/id, I will open this artist component. If I open my playlist, I will open the list of playlists. If I open home, I will open basically the home page. So it's always need to be a component that link to a route, and all of the small component here, we will call it UI component because it is gonna be using within a route component. Yeah, I think that's simple. And one important thing is like for B-Man, he don't want to expose the component. Like let's say I have this private track component. What he wanted to do is like only he take in all of the data via input, and usually he don't want to inject anything. He just wanted to inject the component store, and then inside the store you can do other thing. But he don't wanted to inject the player API so that the UI component can talk directly to the server. All of that he wanted to do it either via store or via upper level. So you need to expose an event out, and then you just handle it inside the parent component instead of in this component itself. Yeah, I think that's all I got. But I think Cyborg also has some response. What confused is like view model. Oh, okay. I was login component in the auth live. Interesting. I will answer it, but I think the login register is going to be inside the auth module. Yeah, in the auth live, and I think we have it somewhere. It need to be auth, no, here auth. So for now we don't have any feature, so I can just create a feature like login and register, and yeah, that's it. Oh, the view model, the view model that Cyborg will mention, because the view model is basically the data from the store, so that is technically file. You can take it, you can you need to have some kind of data from a server coming to a component, and this component is not a feature component. It is not routable. You can introduce a store, and then everything you do it in the store, so it is easier to test basically, rather than you inject the API into the component itself, and then you do all of this HTTP fetching and stuff inside the component. You extract it out to the store, and when you do it via store, that is acceptable. But when you inject the API into the component, it's going to be a bit messy, and then the component now need to depend into the factor, which is this API service, and then you cannot reuse it easier outside. So I think that's a different. But yeah, I hope if Cyborg is booking a meeting, we can talk. And I think Krishna has a question about, is the feature component also called web component? I'm not very sure though. I think feature, all of that was like we based on NX lib type. So in the NX libtype, okay, so there's the feature library, and in the feature library, it is like one of the library that implement a smart UI with access to the data source. Oh, okay, and then the UI is representation, which is the one that Cyborg were confusing because we was also taking a lot of data from the store and we do stuff. But for me, okay, so for me, the feature library was more like just a routable thing. Yeah, it's more like routable. The smart component here, we don't really make a clear distinction because the smart component could be like a container component which contain a lot of small other component, and all of these small other component, it could be the UI component. But the smart component, for now, we just do it as a UI component as well because we don't introduce a new type of library. We call it container or something. So we just put everything into the UI. But yeah, I think sometimes okay, now I think I see the confusion of Cyborg. But also for the container component that has access to the data, we also put it inside the UI folder. Oh, that's why it's confusing for Cyborg. Yeah, so maybe we just had a chat next week, then easier to talk then. And since you are here, we also has this resource about any workspace structure. You can find it inside the repo itself. Here. See, it will open a Git, and then we will explain it here. I think so. The feature usually a container component and router. Maybe if it's container, then okay. I think it's a debatable discussion that we can talk. But yeah, thanks, Krishna, for asking it. Maybe next week I will invite Joe, and then we can discuss about this feature and UI. Yeah, but I think that's all for now. Thank everyone, and have a great weekend. Thanks for staying until the end. I think it's like an hour and a half, which is too long. Thank you so much for spending the time to join the stream today. I saw there's a 5 people like joining from the beginning, so thank you so much. I just couldn't, yeah, I don't know what to say. So, and I see you maybe next week because I've been off for a month, so this session was kind of longer because I was forgetting the code and stuff. But it is what actually happened when you work in the project. It is like you work on something, you move on with other thing, and then when you look back, you forget. And if you have the previous well-written code, you can just reference back to the old code, and then you got some idea. But let's say all of that is like, I just give some very random name and stuff. It is going to be tricky, but I hope it is still a good reference for you guys. And with that, I'll see you next week. And thanks for joining today once again. Oh, the next one I think is going to be next Saturday. I will, yeah, maybe the next Saturday. I haven't thought about it, but after this session, we haven't really finished the live song. So we will do it next week, Saturday. And oh wait, I think I have something, but okay, I can always have an hour talking to you guys. So next Saturday, which is on the 19th of June, the same time. And yeah, thanks, and see you.